Okay. Shalom, praise the Lord, gloria a Dios. As usual, I always come up with something new. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things. First of all, I want to tell everybody happy Passover, and a lot of people are expecting Messiah on this Passover or Elijah on this Passover, and also a lot of things happening in Jerusalem that people are talking about this red heifer that they are going to sacrifice today. This morning, one of the pastors called me, and it was early in the morning. I was still sleeping, and he called me and said, Sammy, what's going on? Tell me. They are going to sacrifice the red heifer today. And I said, listen, I have no idea. I heard that also, but at the same time I heard that they are just going to practice, because according to my knowledge, this 10th heifer is sacrificed by the Moshiach. And a lot of people don't know why am I saying why Moshiach has to sacrifice this 10th heifer, because in this last generation, the Moshiach is the priest, because all these years, the heifer was sacrificed by the priest, not the king. But this time, the priest and the king is one person. And that's why the red heifer has to be sacrificed by the Moshiach, which is me. Without me, they cannot do nothing. I've been telling you for a long time that they cannot even put one stone without me. So they have to sacrifice before they build the temple. And without that, they cannot sprinkle the ashes, and they cannot clean everything, and that's why the Moshiach has to be there. So that is one of the things that right now people are talking about. The second thing is the Moshiach has to be there, and how they will recognize the Moshiach. So there are, few things that I had told you in my past. One is by the faith. By the faith, they've been watching me, you all been watching me, and that's the only way. If you have a faith like a mustard seed and believe what I said all these years and anoint me, because king has to be anointed before he's become a king. Now, I've been anointed by God, so he has to be anointed by God first. And then by faith, by their faith, they will anoint me, the people will anoint me, and then I'll become a king and the priest, and then everything will happen. It's not like some of those rabbis said, he will come and build this first thing, and the second thing, the people will come from all over the world, then maybe we will know he's a Moshiach. No. Once you anoint the Moshiach, once you anoint the king, he's king forever. He's king if he's good or bad, doesn't matter. He's king forever. Just like God chose the Saul and God chose the King David. And even though God knew it, the Saul will do the mistake, and he still anoint him. So the thing is, without anointing me as a king or a priest, nothing will happen on this Passover. So how they going to recognize this Moshiach? And on my previous video, I have said several times, is three-way: by faith. By faith that they've been listening to me, they've been watching me, what I've been saying, and what exactly and who can be the Moshiach. The second thing I told them that it could be a miraculous way. If they don't believe me, and if the time is over, on his time, remember, I can hasten by you or I can hasten by him on his time as a miraculous way. Or the third is that Elijah may come, may not come. Remember, in Malachi chapter, the Elijah we're talking about, okay, he may come, he may not come. That's what exactly he said. And then he will reveal the Moshiach, that who's the Moshiach is, and that's how the third way I can come. Now, you know, a lot of people talk in Christianity because Jesus said that Elijah already came. Okay, Elijah never came. Elijah never came. He will come in the end time if God has a plan for him. So according to the Malachi chapter 3, he may come, he may not come, and that's how everybody will know who I am. So Passover things, and now I told you about the Moshiach. Now there is a lot of things I told you in my past video about the Christianity 9. I said that Christian peoples are not bad. It's the Bible is manipulated by Satan. He used each and every word out of the Old Testament and he twisted everything. If you read everything in the context, you will able to understand that this is all not right. Even though he said that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Listen, God even spared Abraham's son. Why would he give him his own son? He don't need to give his son. He don't have no son. If he had a son, we would have known from the beginning. He would not be hiding from us. But in fact, he says in the 2 Samuel 7:13, that the son of King David, one of son of King David will be his son, and he will be his father, and he will be in the throne forever and ever. If the Jesus was the Son of God, then he would have been on the throne forever and ever. He don't need to die and crucify, and nobody have seen all these things. Now listen, this generation haven't seen anything like that other than in the movie. But you all will see, this generation will see, because God don't want to keep you in secret. He want to tell you and show you everything. And he will show you who's the real God and who's the real Son of God. Which is again, adopted Son of God. That's what he's talking about, the son of King David. Now listen, he has a plenty sons, and which is the Isreal and the Ephraim. Okay, he said, my firstborn Isreal. Isreal and Ephraim is my firstborn son. So he always, if you understand, he always, if you read Old Testament again and again, you will understand that he always bring Judah kind of separate, but then connected with the Ephraim and the Joseph. Because also in the king, if you remember, they all got separated, the 11 tribe, and the Judah and the Benjamin was in one side, and the rest of them was in the other side. And so God always tell you from Genesis to all the way to Malachi, always talk about that I will bring them back. And who? Only them. Only them. Not even Esau. Esau was son of Isaac. Isaac had two sons, Jacob and Esau. Listen, they both are same blood. Same blood, but if I read one of the scriptures, you will see that God really do not want Esau at all. I don't know why. I don't know why Esau he do not want, but he is talking about all the time Jacob and Ephraim. Ephraim, the Joseph two son. He include those two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. So God is always want only Israel to be gathered, the son of Jacob and grandson of his, which is son of Joseph. They are the only one God is talking about. Nobody else, not issue family, or even if you all think that Christian people, that Jesus came from the Joseph and he already came. No, that's not right at all. It's all try to deceive you by Satan. He has nothing to do with the Old Testament. He is not son of the Joseph from the line of tribe of Judah. He is not. And even if he is, he didn't finish nothing what Old Testament is talking about, because he can't. He can't, because he wasn't the real son of God. If he was real son of God, then he could have built the third temple. In fact, the temple was destroyed after he left. Or at the same time, and the second thing is, he never bring everybody back together into the promised land. In fact, everybody scattered all over the world. It was ruined, completely desolate. And also, I was reading one of the scriptures from Ezekiel, and he's talking about desolate, desolate, desolate 3 times. 3 times. So I am not sure about what will happen on the third temple, or desolate, desolate in the Isreal, what's going on right now, and then the Moshiach will come. Let's read the scriptures. It's in Ezekiel 37, Ezekiel 21. Ezekiel 21, let's see the 21. It says, okay, let me read from the beginning, 25. O profane and wicked prince of Israel. Looks like it's talking about Israel right now. Whose days has come, whose time of punishment has reached its climax. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Take off the turban, remove the crown. It will not be as it was. The lowly will be exalted, and the exalted will be brought low. A ruin, which is desolate, desolate. I will make it a ruin, again desolate. It will not be restored until he comes to whom it rightfully belongs to him. I will give it. He's talking about Shiloh. Over here is talking about Shiloh. It's talking about that Moshiach will come either after the Isreal will fall. Israel will desolate 3 times, or the temple will be desolate. Now, we have 2 times temple been desolate. So it cannot be the third temple will be built and the desolate and the Moshiach will come. No, because Moshiach has to be before the temple. Temple has to be built by the Moshiach. If Daniel chapter talk about the desolate, if the third temple has to be desolate, then king has to be there first. That means this prophecy, we looking at the Israel right now, that it's about to fall, means the government about to fall. I am not talking about that Israel will be finished. No, Israel never going to be finished. We will be the strongest country in the world in the end time. We will rule and reign. That's what is talking about. Now let me tell you, let me read another scriptures from Obadiah. Obadiah is talking about no Mount Zion will be deliverance, it will be holy. And the house of Jacob will be possess its inheritance. The house of Jacob will be fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. The house of Esau will be stubble, and they will set it on fire and consume it. There will be no survivor from the house of Esau. Can you believe it? That there won't be no survivor of Esau family at all, which is also the bloodline of Isaac. The Jacob and the Esau, I have no idea why God is going to remove, but in the most of the time, if you read Ezekiel now, the Ezekiel 37, which is most popular chapter in the Ezekiel 37, if you read 18, when your countrymen ask you, won't you tell us what you mean by this? So say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am going to take the stick of Joseph, which is in Ephraim's hand, and of the Israelite tribes, associate with him and join it to Judah's sticks. What he's trying to say is he's going to combine Ephraim, Joseph, son, and the rest of the tribes, and then connect with the Judah. That's what he's talking about. But he's not talking about no issue or not even any other people, not even Christian people he's talking about. Now, if you all think that Jesus came and made a Christianity, and the Christian people are the grafted in from the Judaism, no. If the Ishmael is not grafted in, the issue is not grafted in, Ishmael is not grafted in, how can you be grafted in? There is no way you are grafted in. You are Gentile. You cannot be Jew. You are a Gentile. So you and Muslims are Gentile. Now, again, he said the Jewish people are all over the world, and he will bring from east and west and each and every corner. But he's talking about only Jew, to bring it to Jerusalem and Israel, and the rest of the world, if they come in the middle, they all will be destroyed. Especially, he's saying that issue will be no more. Issue family won't be there. Now, whose issue family, unless they converted into a Muslims instead of stay in the path, or the Christians? I am not sure, but that doesn't mean they are a bad people. They all are confused. They all are being deceived by either, first of all, by Christianity, and the second by Muslims. So all those things in the end time God will reveal, and everything will open. Now let me tell you, it wasn't easy for me to tell you that Jesus was son of Satan, because Satan, and one of the guy talked to my man and said, well, Satan don't have no son, then God don't have no son. If Satan do not have no son, then God do not have no son either. But that's why God says that I'm going to have son of King David. But, so same thing, the Satan said, yes, Satan have a son. But whose son is that? We don't know. He could be son of somebody which is worshipping the Satan all this time. So the thing is, you all need to understand that I'm not over here to create a problem. The problem is started from the beginning. About 2,500 years ago, when the Christianity started, or after that, when after Jesus died or whatever, the story is that I don't buy right now, because once I always respected. Remember, I also been deceived because my wife is Christian, I told you. And it's very hard for me to tell her that he is not what he said. I mean, I have a lot of Christian friends, because in the beginning I give them the Old Testament, the New Testament together, thousands and thousands of leather books. And they all, but I never say, I always have my title as I am the ancient of days, or I am the ancient one. I am the Shiloh. Remember, I just explained to you in Ezekiel chapter and Obadiah chapter, he's talking about Shiloh will come, Shiloh will come. He is the main person in Daniel chapter 7:13. He is the main person, that Son of Man will be raised. When in the Jesus, in the Matthew chapter, the John the Baptist saw the Spirit like dove came in. Now, how he saw, I do not understand, because most of the time, remember, in the Old Testament, the New Testament, yes, it's like come like a wind and touches and go in the Old Testament, remember. Okay, so on this New Testament, whatever he said that he saw, wait a minute, generally the person who received, he felt, not the other person. It's just like what it says in the Daniel chapter, the Son of Man will come in the cloud. Not for everybody, to get the one of these ancient of days. So the devil, the Satan, used that scriptures very well, and he said, yes, Son of Man will come in the cloud with his angel. With his angel. He used that exactly same thing, what it says in Zechariah, he put in the Revelation chapter. Revelation chapter is totally built up on Zechariah chapter and the Malachi chapter, all on the end chapters. So my case, or whatever I've been telling you, is I just don't come up with all this thing. All this time, he never told me to say anything. In fact, I was respecting. I'm still respecting. I'm respecting. The Bible is written such a way, the beautiful. It is. Satan have a plan to deceive, but God had a plan to bring them out of the bondage. And so, Christian people are beautiful. They read and they feel like, okay, I need to get transformed by just believing in the Son of God, Jesus, and I will be doing good, and they may not sinning too much, but they still sin. Because as long as you are on the earth, the temptation will come and you will sin. You act like you are born again, whatever you call. But listen, in Zechariah chapter 6, in one day, if the house of God, God's children haven't received that spirit, you cannot have either. You cannot have that spirit. First, God will put on them Isreal and the tribe of Judah. It says in the Zechariah chapter, and then he will pour on all of them. He will in one day. There won't be no idols. People will worship only one God, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And his son will be there as a king forever and ever. And the whole world will come and worship in Jerusalem. And if they do not come, there won't be no rain on that country. And if they come against us, the arrow will go straight to wherever we want to be. All these things, I am not making anything. And again, I don't have to prophesy nothing anymore. I am here. It's over. It's finished. It's matter of days, matter of time, maybe a month, maybe a week. I don't see a years anymore, because time and a half, 24 and a half years, God came, angel came and told me it's finished, end of the December. But my birthday was 4/7/62, so it's actually finished on April the 7th. So now I can come anytime. After that finish, Moshiach will come. And how I'm going to come? Again, I told you that only 3 ways. And I don't see that by faith. The faith, forget it. They're not going to believe me. They're not going to believe me by faith. They want to see the miracles. But again, I don't need to perform miracles because it is already written what he did in the past. And right now, they are not in the bondage anywhere. They are in fact in the New York, they are celebrating and enjoying. They don't want to go even Jerusalem. If they have get free everything, they don't need to go over there. Just like when they were in the Exodus time, some of them didn't go. And they left over there. So all those things going to happen. I am coming. I am on the door. You can see on the YouTube, people are talking. Rabbis are talking that he is on the footstep. He is on the door. He is in the midst of us. Yes, I am in the midst of you. But till you do not anoint me and make me your king and give me my new crown and my new clothes, I cannot do anything. But again I said, it doesn't matter you believe me or not. If God chooses you, you finish. Last night I was thinking, and I said, God, they're not gonna believe me. Why would you put me? Can you take it back? He said, ask some of those rabbis if he can take me back. If they say yes, then I will take you back. But they cannot say because it doesn't say in the word. And if they say, then it doesn't match with the word. So I cannot get out. I have to finish the job. Without that, he's not going to let me go. So right now, you know that like I said, that Israel will fall and then I will come. Means the government. The Netanyahu has to come out. And then I will usher in. Second thing, Iran and Israel, you see, they're playing right now, Mickey Mouse game right now, whatever they're playing, it's going to spark. Again, remember that it's going to be, not going to be huge, because huge war is in after the king will usher in. That's going to happen in the future. But at this point, they're going to play around and see if they come up on the table, but there will be a damage, both sides. But Israel will be overcome no matter what happens. And they also knows that, and that's why they are not doing anything. But they might do it, I'm telling you, because I have feeling they're going to do it. They're just sitting right now. Maybe they will do in the Passover, just like we didn't give them a time on the Ramadan. We told them, they asked for the ceasefire on the Ramadan, and the Netanyahu didn't do anything. So they might do on the Passover on this 7-8 days, and something big can happen out of it. And then you may see the Elijah appears from somewhere. Now I don't know how they're going to recognize he's the Elijah unless he speaks Hebrew and he is one of them. And if one of them, and they point at me, he point at me, yes, they will believe. That's the only way. So even though it come as a Elijah, and if it tells them that I am the Elijah and I know who is this, and then he point at me, then they're going to believe, and I think so they will put me as their king. Now listen, when I said I am the king is over. Is over. I am the Shiloh that God have promised. I am the one to come. I am the branch that build the house for the God. Wherever I am, he says, wherever I am, I will build the house. I am right now over here, and I'm going to build the house, because there are 10.5 million people have watched my video. Now, I am not expecting those 2 billion Christians will be on my side, and I'm not worrying about that. I'm not worrying about that. I have to know my brother and sister, the Jewish brother and sister, believe me, so we can start building the temple, and that way they will know that Old Testament is right. They've been deceived by New Testament completely. If God is not going to spare Esau family, which is Jacob bloodline, you think so they're gonna, he's down. You can call Jacob bloodline because they are Jew also. They're not a Gentile. Then there will be only Gentile left is a Christians. They are Christians are the Gentile. Now they cannot be grafted in as a Jew. No, sir. He is strictly going to grafted, which is the tribe of Ephraim and the tribe of and the Jacob 12 tribes. So please understand, I am not against Christian people. I love them. I love Muslim. I love Christian. I love Hindus. We love each other, but the thing is, the Satan have a plan from the beginning to destroy the world. Whatever God has built, he wants to destroy. He has a very little time. He has a very little time because he started to know that I am here. I am here. Time is over. This is the time we need to start building the temple. I would not be telling you about all the titles that I always tell you. I am the Shiloh, I am the branch, I am the prolonged one, I am the revelation, I am the son of King David, I am the adopted son of King David, I am the prince of priests, I am the mighty counselor. All those is God has given me those titles, which Jesus never said those. Those are the main title. He could have just said that I am the Shiloh. I am the Shiloh. Where is the Shiloh? Never, because he can't. Satan cannot use certain things which God already have choose. But he can twist it. So he twisted the whole Torah and made a new Bible. Now listen, did Jesus wrote the Bible? No. It's written by everybody else. It's not that God gave it to Jesus like a Moses. God gave it to Moses, 5 books of Torah. God didn't give it to Jesus. In fact, he claimed he is the God. I am he. Me and my Father is one. No. How could it be? How could it be? Because I am his son, adopted son. That's the only thing is written. If you understand, there are 4 good scriptures, and if you read again and again and again and again, you will know what I'm talking about. And I'm not here to change your mind. Just watch. But don't write any bad things. Don't talk bad about it. Do not judge me right now. Because, like I said, I was deceived. And I don't know what to tell my wife. I'm not worrying about my children because they are right now in a neutral kind of things. They are watching where my father is going. Now, so I am not going to go with right now what they're thinking. But yes, my wife is my half. To make her understand is going to be very tough for me. But on his time, he did it on his time. All 3.5 years, I never said anything other than I said who I am. But now I'm telling you that God have revealed me in the end because my time is about to come. There are a lot of things that God have revealed me last week. I didn't write it down, but one thing, I can debate any time with any Christians or Noahide or Jewish people who I am and why I am and what's coming in my life. Doesn't matter what you all think. Anytime you want to debate, anytime you want to ask me a question, ask me a genuine questions. Don't write me a scriptures which you understand the way you want to understand. But if you been revealed by God is a different story. And if you go and read the same scriptures in the Old Testament and put Like I said, oh, wait a minute, he cannot be, or he can be. And then you will understand that who's right and wrong. Happy Passover to everybody, and pray that God reveal you, and maybe by faith, you all can take one step, and you can anoint your king, choose your king, anoint him, and we can start building the temple ASAP. But again, all the prophecy has to be fulfilled, and I feel like that the one I read about the desolate 3 times, I guess probably is not finished. I don't know exactly how Netanyahu came, how many times election was done, but I don't remember. But I think so. This is the time that the monarchy will be out and kingship will be ushered in, and things gonna change in everybody's life. Because in the Old Testament, they always wanted king, because most of the people had king, and they had only priest, or they had judges. So they decided, since everybody have a king, we want king also. So God said, okay, that's what you want. So on Samuel time, they asked Samuel that we want king, and Samuel went and asked God, and he said, well, they are not against you, they are against me, and that's what they want. Okay, I'm going to anoint the soul as my king. And the first king came as a soul.
And we need that today.
And now is same thing again today, yes.
Get rid of the monarchy.
Yes.
Get rid of Netanyahu.
Yes. Because it's written in the end time, this king will be rule and reign the whole world from Jerusalem. All the 70 nations will bow down to him. Now, these are the things written in the word. And you cannot change the word, you cannot add the word, you don't. So, it is a done deal. Thank you, and God bless you, and we'll see you next time.